Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Good.
Hello, welcome back to Gooner Gathering. I'm trying to unmute his mic, but it won't let me do it for some reason. My name is Posh Bertie, the poshest man in all of sports entertainment, and joining me, as always, is Gooner Gathering's founding father, the one, the only, Mr. Gooner Lee Meads. Oh, how are you?
Hello. Yeah,
Great.
I'm absolutely fantastic. It's been a while, mate. It's been a long time since we've done a live here on Gooner Gathering. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see the people that are flooding into the chat right now. But you know what? It's been rather hectic. So basically, it's that, I like to pull back the curtain a little bit. So I've had Amy at home all week because there's been an issue with the school, and unfortunately, it's made things very, very hectic. And she's asking for my attention right now. So I might have to just jump over for her in just a second.
No worries.
That's good timing, Amy. Good, but it's been a little bit challenging, and we've had to do a bit of homeschooling like it was old school COVID times. But as you can see her in the in the background there, well, just for a second as I see what she wants. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries.
What a start. Give us a subscribe.
Absolutely. We've got a comment in the chat, by the way, first. Mile High Hotspur says, hey, fellas, hope you guys are well. Big up. Good to see you, Mile High Hotspur. Emerson Cozier is in as well. Good evening, chaps. Good evening to you, sir. So, yeah, we're going to be, when Lee returns, we're going to be discussing things we've missed during my absence. So Arsenal's very good win in the Champions League over PSG. We'll be talking about Arsenal's upcoming game tomorrow against Southampton, and various other bits of news as well. Potential injuries involving Timber and White, or maybe one might seem to be back in contention, who knows, and news regarding Thomas Partey's contract. So quite a few things to discuss, among other things, and I hope you guys in the chat will join us. That's someone else's catchphrase. Join us while we discuss those. But it's great to see all of you in the chat, and make sure you hit the like button, and if you've not subscribed already, please give us a subscribe. Amy, what channel should these great people subscribe to?
Where should they subscribe, Amy?
Thank you very much, Amy.
Thank you very much. Amy, how are you today?
How are you today? It's happy.
She's happy. Excellent. This is great content.
Can
It's
I go
great
into the
content,
next
isn't
bit,
it, Amy?
Can I go in there now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
She wants the spotlight.
So it looks like I've got a co-presenter with me today, mate.
You don't need me anymore then, by the looks of it.
See you later, Posh.
Yeah, all right. Future endeavoured.
No, I wouldn't let you go. Not just yet. Not as easy as that. You've got to put up with me a bit more. Right.
Oh, excellent.
So, listen, it's been so long since we've done one of these streams. So I think what we've got to do, really, is firstly probably look back at our performance against Paris Saint-Germain.
Yes,
right?
Of course.
Probably a good place. I mean, I don't have anything in the back end to put up like team lineups and everything. I don't think what we need to do is look at it in great detail. But there are probably a couple of issues, a couple of things I want to talk about. Firstly, the opening goal really is probably a good place to start.
Yes, it is a good place to start, and it was a great goal as well. There's a lovely cross from Trossard, I think it was.
Yeah.
Found Kai Havertz back of the net, and it's 1-0. I actually thought we started off very well. We played very well the vast majority of the game, I think. I think what shocked me was how poor PSG were overall. But I'm not going to
Yeah.
take that away from the fact that we were very good in that game. But I did expect it to be more competitive. But I'm not complaining because we won. And we started off with a very good goal from one Kai Havertz, thanks to a stupendous cross from Trossard. Good start.
Do you know what? There's something else I'd add to it as well. I believe, was it this one or was it the second goal? Generally, I think Thomas Partey won the possession in this stage of the play first. And quite possibly the best performance of Partey that we've seen of the season. Although there's been little smidges here and there when he's made a TNA impact. I thought that this was a lovely bit of play. Almost reminded me of a really old-fashioned goal, where you get the cross come in and you get the big centre forward, throws his head at it. He managed to rise above the Italian goalkeeper, didn't he? And was very brave in doing it. And Kai continues to impress, certainly at home. As Amy continues to play season down the camera, I'm going to let her stay here, guys. If nothing else, keep on sharing and subscribing to Goonie Gathering just to help Amy because she loves it.
Absolutely.
And you know what? You're right. It was a very positive start from Arsenal, especially after getting a firm test over the weekend against Leicester City, when it was a case of, we got into a 2-0 lead and then I don't know if it was complacent or maybe I'm not giving Leicester enough credit in the way they came back. But in this game here against Paris, I thought a thoroughly professional start and throughout the game, a really positive professional performance.
Yeah, I completely agree. And what you said about Thomas Partey, I thought that was his best game this season, definitely. He seems to be getting better as the season goes by the looks of it. So that's very encouraging. And I think we will be discussing something regarding his contract very soon, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. But perhaps something we should say is perhaps the improvement of the performance is coming down to playing games, honestly. I know some Arsenal fans aren't going to want to hear it. And listen, I might have been one of those that thought maybe his time was gone, quite honestly, at the end of the season. I'll admit that. But quite honestly, so if Mikel Arteta wants to keep him in the squad and he's had him involved, even in games where he's been highly criticised sometimes, I think there was one moment where he took a very quick free kick in a game a couple of weeks ago. And he's had... It was the Wolves game.
Yeah, he set up the second goal. Yeah, so he has done some good things this season, but it was during the Atalanta game where I thought, I think his time might be up here. But since then, he said, "Hang on, what's this Posh Bertie fella talking about?" And he's done quite well. So look, I'm pleased for him. Long may it continue because when he's on form, he's very good.
Yeah, he's very competitive, but perhaps we're starting to see the best of him. As he plays continual games. Is that right, Amy? What do you think of Thomas Partey? Is he consistent and strong in the midfield?
Yes.
Yes, Daddy.
Yes, Daddy.
Good girl. It was good analysis from Amy. This might not be the most professional setup in the world, guys, but we are keeping it real. Mrs. M is still on her She may be on her way home. I'm not sure if she's getting a lift or not tonight. So
you've got the entire Meadows family potentially on this stream. What is not to like? If that's not worth a subscribe, I don't know what is.
Talking of subscribing as well, probably at that moment I will say a little bit of a landmark moment on the channel actually, because we've reached 350 subscribers. So many thanks to everybody who watches us live. Many thanks to all of you who watch us on demand. Share the good name of Gooner Gathering and what we're all about. And hello, there's a couple of names who've just jumped in on the chat.
Two very familiar names. Stacey is
Absolutely.
here saying lost track of time. Don't worry, Stacey, you've made it here. And AFC Always saying Lee, Bertie, and Amy. Good
Amy.
evening. Good evening, AFC Always.
Good evening,
I'm
all.
glad you acknowledged Amy there.
What does Amy want, sorry?
Oh.
What does Amy say?
How did he say?
Yeah. That's Daddy's microphone, Amy.
It's a microphone.
Yeah, that's right. You're live on YouTube now, mate.
Mm.
Please do not swear. Right. So listen. So we've got the first goal. We've spoken about that. How about, as I'm a little flustered, you remind me of the second goal and how that all came about?
Yes, so that was from a free kick.
Yes, indeed.
On
There, thank you.
not the edge of the box, but Saka took the free kick. Now, originally, I thought it was a tap in from Thomas Partey,
So did I.
and the camera panned to him celebrating. And I think a lot of people thought it was Partey that scored it, but actually, it was a direct free kick from Bukayo Saka. Yes, I think Donnarumma should have done a lot better there. For a goalkeeper of his quality, he should have been doing better. However, I'm not going to take that away from the fact that this was our first goal from a direct free kick since September of 2021, when Odegaard scored against Burnley. So we've scored a direct free kick now. Bukayo Saka did very well there, and 2-0 going into half-time. I cannot complain. We were just discussing Thomas Partey at AFC Always, and I agree with you. His best performance of the season so far, hopefully. We were saying it seems like he's getting better as the season goes on, which is encouraging. But yeah, Saka scored the free kick. A bit of dodgy goalkeeping, but I'm not taking that away from Saka. 2-0 going into half-time. It's what the doctor ordered. It's what we ordered.
Absolutely. There's another performance I want to talk about from the first half, and that was of Timber, who started the game from the get-go. He had an excellent first half. I don't think he gave away the ball really. Very solid in defence. However, he didn't make it out to the field for the second half. Now, I don't want to ring any alarm bells particularly. And one thing I think we've got to remember is that he's just back from a very, very serious injury that literally ruled him out for pretty much most of the season last year, right? Replaced by Kivior. Actually, a guy who probably needed some game time because he's not really been out there very, very much. So that was good for him to get another 45 minutes. Let's just 2 seconds with the chat. Stacey, yes, we've spoken about your couple of additions. And hello, Niall Kane. It's good to see you. He's predicting a 4-1 Arsenal win against Southampton.
We'll get to that game in a minute. We'll get to that game in a minute, Niall.
We're a little bit behind in the times through unforeseen circumstances, but we're trying to. All three of us are trying to race through the PSG game. Look, as you say, I've forgotten where I was. This is hard trying to be daddy.
You were talking about Timber and how much of an impact he was this season.
He had a very, very good first half, and he obviously just back from the injury. If he was starting to feel any sort of issue, absolutely no need, especially when it was at 2-0 at half-time to risk him. Maybe you might say a little uncharacteristic for a half-time substitution from Mikel Arteta, but perhaps one that was probably done with absolutely the right motives.
Yeah, it's been a bit. Mikel Arteta is always. He likes to keep his cards to himself when it. Amy, get out of the way.
Are you done?
When it comes to.
Are you... Okay.
Mikel Arteta likes to keep his cards to himself when it comes to potential injuries. He always says, "Oh, they're in contention. Oh, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see." So it's pretty hard to judge whether this potential injury to Timber might be serious or not. I think Mikel said he's in contention for tomorrow. I'm not sure. But it's good to see him resting Timber, whether it was an injury, whether it was a precaution, I don't know. But yeah.
Sorry, Posh, I could not hear that. I had to mute it via my remote there.
I was basically saying...
I can't hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Try again, Posh. I should hear you now.
Okay, good. So, as I was saying, whether this was a genuine injury or whether it was a precaution and resting him, making sure that they are monitoring the amount of minutes he has, then that's fine. Apparently, he might be in contention for the Southampton game. I'm not sure, but we'll have to wait and see on that front.
If there's any sort of question on an injury front, absolutely no need to risk it this weekend. I would suggest we'll get to Southampton in a wee bit. But yeah, Mikel did say something about obviously Timber's played quite a lot of minutes over the season and perhaps a little bit further ahead of schedule than he might have been. So any sort of issue, and we've had enough of these ACLs to know that it takes a bit of time to get them properly right. Timber's done incredibly well coming back into the side as he's done. And like I said, Kivior, he 2-0 up, didn't really have any issues defensively during the first half. So yeah, and honestly, Kivior, he was fine. He didn't do anything particularly badly in the second half. That's basically was the second half, honestly. It was fine, but professional.
We're getting some names in the chat here. Jaden plays Croydon. Even as a Tottenham fan, I respect Arsenal. I don't really have a hate towards Arsenal. I mean, okay.
Well, I'll respond to that saying thank you for a new name in the chat. And, this is what this channel's about. This is all about being football fans and having a nice civilized conversation with everybody. And anyone and everybody's welcome here. And talking of everybody and anybody, there's Miss Molina is here, former Gooner Gathering alumni, and BX is here as well. So good to see everybody there. Look at that. We're getting our audience, Posh. We are the main event of this. Yes, exactly. Friday Night Live. Where else would anyone want to be?
Absolutely.
Is there anything of the second half that you want to sort of talk about, really?
Do you think Calafiori was lucky to be on the pitch? Because once again, he was close to getting a second yellow. Similar thing happened against Leicester. I'll be honest. I'll be honest, I actually cannot remember what this was for the PSG game, but I remember watching it and tweeting all these people saying that referees have an agenda against Arsenal should be wrong after tonight. Calafiori is lucky to stay on the pitch. And now I blame the paracetamol that I've been taking this week, right? Because I can't remember what happened. So someone might have to refresh my memory there.
Right. Okay. Well, what I do remember,
have had a penalty though. There was a potential penalty check, wasn't there?
Was that was the handball, right? So
and I vaguely remember that, and I thought we might have got away with that.
So because the direction of the ball came off another Arsenal defender first, when then it sort of bounced up a bit weird into Calafiori's hand, and it did, but it didn't warrant anything like a penalty kick, mate. I mean, it's even in Champions League standards, that would have been very, very harsh indeed. As regards a second yellow card for Calafiori, no, I don't really recall anything that he really got away with. I do know what you're talking about in the Leicester game. And I might I know exactly the point you're talking about, but the foul, and there's bad looking foul, but that be that as it may, yeah, they've been harsh enough on us on a couple of the Reds anyway, to be honest. Ask Trossard and ask Rice. But
Trossard deserved it
basically
more than Rice did, I'll say that. But yeah.
I mean, Rice got being absolutely clobbered by the Brighton player, but there you go. But that's old news. That's old news. We don't need to bring that up again. Not really. So, I mean, quite honestly, what I remember of the second half was more of a. And by the way, thank you, Jason Plays Croydon, who has actually subscribed to us as well. So good on you. That takes us over 351 subscribers, I believe. So thank you very much.
Excellent.
So look, the second half wasn't particularly spectacular from Arsenal. We managed to be professional. We managed to keep a clean sheet, which is really important in the Champions League, and we get our points tally up to 4. So that's a good start. I've got to say, generally, as we sort of approaching the international break, from what has been a potentially extremely difficult start to the season for Arsenal, we've actually come out pretty good, haven't we?
Yeah, because I was thinking, like, before, back during the last international break, when we had Tottenham and City coming up and then away to Atalanta, and Rice was missing against Spurs, Odegaard being injured. It was very much, as I said, the biggest uphill battle we've had in a while. But I think we came out of that okay. I think beating Tottenham without Rice was very good, and I think I wasn't impressed with the Atalanta game just because of how boring it was. But yeah,
it wasn't the best, to be fair, Posh. You're right.
No, but we came out of it. We've not lost so far. Hope I'm not jinxing it, but we've not lost a game so far. So yeah. AFC always wants to talk about Unai Emery. We'll I don't think that was on the agenda for this game.
But look, I want to give. If we're talking about Unai Emery, I will give his Aston Villa side plenty of credit. Right from, I watched all the game against Bayern the other day, and Villa impressed me. They really did impress me, and tactically, Emery got it absolutely right and made the change. He put Duran on again, and he's made the difference. Right now, can I just so knowing how confrontational my broadcast colleague can be sometimes, and I don't mean that in a nasty way, Posh. Right, you know what I'm talking about, right? Don't mute yourself. You don't need to.
No. I'm. Listen, the floor's yours, sir.
Thank you. All right. Like, so with Arteta, any time that we might concede a goal, let alone, I don't know, drop a couple of points when we draw or whatever, remind me, right? How were things under Emery when Arsenal actually went to sack him? I tell you how bad they were. People weren't even showing up to the ground. That's how bad things were. And remember how things were in our defence as well. The likes of Socrates and Mustafi and the likes. It was a tough time. What I will say is, I do respect what Unai has done, and to come back at Aston Villa. I don't know if he's beaten Bayern twice now. If he has done, fantastic.
Villarreal. I think with Villarreal, when he was Villarreal manager,
right.
He beat Bayern Munich in the Champions League. But yeah, so yeah, we're two different clubs, but yeah, twice in the last few years.
And you know, that's not to be sniffed at all. You know, he had a great record in European competition, known as the Europa King. I don't know if that means anything. I mean, look, everyone's bigging up Unai Emery. You know, how critical were some of the Arsenal fans finishing 4th? That's what I've got to say about that. And
Good
some people
evening
might.
from Belgium. Good to see
Wow,
you,
hello.
Natalie Moon. Good to see
It's
you.
great to
from
see
Belgium.
everybody here.
Excellent.
Thank you for joining us. It's really appreciated. We're going worldwide. Worldwide? In gig. I had to, Posh.
That is the most obscure wrestling reference I think we've had in a while. So,
If you're not familiar with our channel, boys and
Titus
girls,
O'Neil.
you will find that me and Posh might occasionally drop a wrestling reference because we have that's how basically we have met through the wonderful form of American wrestling. Right, okay, let's get us back on track, shall we?
Yeah.
BX says great points, Lee. Thank you. Or good points. I won't big myself up too much. So
This is
AFC always
a hot take. You're going to see Ben White at Aston Villa in 12 months' time. Many people have said that with Timber as could be the now new starting right back, that Ben White might be on his way out. I think at the moment that would be an unwise thing to do because depth at right back is very good. Timber and White, you can play them both in that position. So I wouldn't do that. I think you'll be unwise for to do that.
Yeah.
To sell Ben White.
Honestly,
yeah.
I would say that this is the first injury break I think Ben has had. And I think he gutted it up when he came on against Manchester City when we needed him, quite honestly. And fair play, he may have even done himself more damage. Mikel was very quick to praise him after saying that he will run, he'll run through walls for you if you asked him to. So I honestly don't see Ben leaving at all. I think there's it's always great to have options, especially as we've talked about, and very much a hot topic of the moment is the amount of games everybody's playing, right? And we're at a time where people talk about strongest 11s or whatever. I don't even think we're talking about strongest 11s anymore. I'm thinking we're talking about strongest 18s in terms of squads and stuff. But yeah, honestly, yeah, Ben's not going to go anywhere, honestly. And I think BX agrees with me.
Yeah, because we'll talk about the Southampton game now. And potential team news. I think regarding Timber or Ben White, in fact, where we've got people say Jaden says, score prediction, Arsenal 4, Southampton 1. We have a run-in, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. M is in the building.
Mrs. M has just arrived. Oh, my God, we're all here. And she's carrying apples. Or are they cricket balls? Mrs. M, how are you?
I'm tired.
You're tired. Say hello to everybody over there.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Mrs. Meadows.
Thanks for the cold, Amy.
Did you hear that? She says, thanks for the cold, Amy. Right.
I think I might have caught it from her as well, to be honest, based on what I've done, based on this week.
Apples for everyone, he says, BX.
Oh, my word. Lovely jubbly. So Jaden says 4-1 to Arsenal against Southampton. Natalie says 3-0. AFC always says, I'm expecting us to beat Southampton 4 or 5-0. BX says, once everyone is fit, we have a very serious squad challenge on all four fronts. Just need a striker. That's our biggest weakness, the fact we don't have a proper striker. I've always said this time and again. And AFC always says, hello, Mrs. Meadows.
It's very kind, AFC always. She'll appreciate that very much. Can we address the proper striker situation? What do you want from Havertz then?
Well, Havertz is not a striker that's going to score you 20-plus goals a season. That's the thing.
How many is he on already?
In the league, I believe it's 3 in 6
What about in all
games.
competitions?
That is 4.
Right.
No,
so,
5. Sorry, 5.
5. That's what I thought. So we've reached a quarter of the way into the 20 goals a season target. and we're only just into October, right?
Absolutely. And I hope that he proves me wrong and scores goals for fun, we need a proper striker to do. So, yeah, and BX
Do you not?
says an additional striker on top of Havertz. That's right, because, as I said, I think Jesus should be gone, and we need a striker to replace him. So
If you say be gone, right? Even against Leicester, and in the very small cameo bit that he played, he had a part to play in Clay's goal right at the end. He had a shot that came off the new Leicester goalkeeper, and Havertz managed to sort of bundle it in. And then, of course, the offside flag went up, but it went to VAR and it counted.
Okay, so Jesus missed a shot. Okay, that's what I got from that.
No, he had a shot that was on target, which the keeper couldn't hold on to. The keeper couldn't hold on to, and Havertz bundled it in.
But Jesus wasn't the one who scored. It was Havertz with the credit there. So
no, that's right. No, that's right. Absolutely. And I'm giving Havertz the credit for scoring. He obviously it wasn't the cleanest, it wasn't the prettiest goal in the world, but it counted. Obviously, in an ideal world, yeah, it'd be lovely to get another striker. But I don't know. Jesus is finished. These knee injuries have ruined him. Again, are we being super harsh on Jesus here?
No, he missed the sitter against Bolton, for God's sake. I think his time is up. His time is not now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, everyone's entitled to an opinion, and that's cool. Again, it's going to take some dislogic. I mean, is it worth talking about the fact that he's basically played Havertz and Trossard as a two, certainly at home, over the last little while, hasn't he? With the fact that Odegaard's been missing.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. But Trossard's not really a proper striker as well. He's more of a winger. Jesus
I don't know.
And a cup starter.
Look, I think you can do a lot worse than Jesus as your substitute striker. When is Odegaard back? Well, that's a great question. Arteta's talking about after the international break, and then we'll see where he is. There's absolutely no need, as we were talking about with Timber, to rush him back. There is absolutely no need to at the moment, is there? Especially like say Southampton tomorrow. Obviously, he ain't going to be back for that. But I mean, some would argue a case that maybe tomorrow might be the game where perhaps we might even have a couple of quite young players who might even make it into the first team for a start against Southampton. Not underplaying how Southampton are, but in terms of, I'll give you my thoughts, if you like.
Yeah.
I'll start with probably the most likely one, in my opinion, right?
Okay.
And I'll go to the left back position because Timber, of course, went off. I wonder if is it likely that we see Lewis Skelly perhaps playing at left back, because that's where he played against Bolton. I also wonder, is it possible that we might even play Ethan Nwari? I don't know. In terms of, you're hoping for that, Posh?
I'm hoping for Nwaneri. I think this is a perfect game for him to make his debut. And even like Natalie says here, Nwaneri deserves to start tomorrow. I agree. From when he came on against Leicester, and when he was playing against Bolton, he was very good. Yeah. When he came on against Leicester, I thought he was really trying and really, I thought it was fantastic. So I really want to see him start.
Really instrumental.
It's the perfect game for him to start. Emerson has given his entire team. He's given the subs bench as well, and his predictions 3-1. Excellent. And Dominic Palmer's in the chat saying, popping in to say hi between training the girls and playing. Excellent, Dom. Always good to see you.
This is a good point, or good place for me to say many thanks, Dom, for doing a couple of videos for us, as we were missing in action over the last week. So cheers, Dom, for helping us out a little bit as circumstances here and Posh being a bit poorly. It really helps us keep the content coming out. So that's what the team's all about. And you know, we have got some very good people amongst us here at Gooner Gathering, haven't we, Posh?
Absolutely. What a team.
Absolutely. A bunch of winners. And the winner is you. But so yeah, again, so Lewis Skelly, I think perhaps gets a start. And Ethan Nawari maybe gets a go, maybe in that attacking position for Odegaard. Here you go, Dom's put a side out for tomorrow. So he's gone with Raya, Califoria. I think that'll be at right back. Saliba, Gabriel, Kiviar at left back, not wanting to risk Timber. Party Rice, Nawari, Saka, Jesus, Sterling. I don't see a Havertz there, but he's perhaps giving him a rest. Dom says a pleasure doing the video. Lovely channel. Thank you very much.
The Gooner Gathering bench is better than the Arsenal bench. Oh, I couldn't agree. It's better than the Real Madrid bench, my friend.
There you go. Strength in depth. That's what it is, and versatility as well. I think people can play in many positions.
Ben White might be fit and ready to play for the Southampton game, is what I've been hearing.
Okay.
Apparently. But I don't know. Well, it's a case of wait and see. Arteta also said that Timber was in contention, but I'm not. I think White is more likely than Timber at this point. So if Ben White is ready, then I'll probably play him at right back with Califouri at left back, and of course Saliba and Gabriel at the back. I mean, that's the first two. They're the first
That's
two.
A given, isn't it?
Yeah. If I want to put my full team sheet, it'd be probably Rice, Partey, Wanyeri, and front three: Saka, Trossard, Havertz.
Fair enough. Interesting. I love the fact you've got round to putting Havertz in the starting 11 now. It's
either that or it's Gabriel Jesus, who can't finish his own dinner at the moment. So, what options do I have?
How funny. BX saying this match will be like Sheffield United. Sheffield United matches last season. Someone's going to get a hat trick. Who knows? AFC always says, Lee, when you said about Odegaard could be back after the international break, just wondering which one did you mean? The one in October or the one in November? All I can say is that he's definitely not going to be on the field tomorrow, and we'll see where we are in about 2 weeks' time. All right? I am not actually the one who's doing the medical testings on Mr. Martin Odegaard, am I? So we're just looking from the outside, aren't we? So Dom's about to go and play centre half. Have a good evening, he says. So if White's fit, he plays him, and he rests Gabriel. Califouri to left back, and Kivior at left centre back. Oh, this is going to cause a debate.
I don't know. You got to have Saliba and Gabriel there. I think
we can win and rest players. Starting Jesus is designed to try and get a goal. Yeah.
Maybe that's why it'll be like the Sheffield United game. He'll be the Nketiah and get a hat trick unexpectedly.
Yeah. Absolutely. I didn't think we were going to talk about Nketiah. It's too raw for me.
I don't want to talk about Nketiah, quite frankly.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Next week, Trossard to Calafiori and Saliba to National team. Great games. Yes. Look, I haven't got the international things in front of me, but yeah. Honestly, I can't get that excited for international football,
No.
particularly after what we've been subjected to over here in England. That's for sure. So, so we've kind of talked about that. It's probably right that we talk about Ramsdale coming back to the Emirates, isn't it, mate?
It is. Yes.
Did you see some of the interview that that Match of the Day have put together on their socials over the last day or so?
I have not. No. Why? Have you got
Okay.
some information then?
He was just saying the how when he'd kind of lost his place in the Arsenal side and Raya got in ahead of him, every time there was a save or any time there was a goal that goes in for the opposition, camera always panned to Ramsdale, and you felt that was a little bit unfair. He did everything in his power to try and displace Raya in terms of being good in training and whatnot. But he was, he felt that maybe the pressure on Raya was difficult. And in fairness, he did say that ultimately, look what's happened. He made some great saves, and he obviously picked up the Golden Glove as well, didn't he? Kind of puts the debate really to bed, doesn't it? Obviously, we have a goalkeeper we haven't even talked about. Hasn't even got on the field yet. Neto from Bournemouth. Who knows? Maybe he'll jump in somewhere. I don't know. If we're rotating game time, who knows? But no, I don't really think that.
Yeah, you just know that Ramsdale is going to probably have the game of his life tomorrow and make save after save after save. But no.
Right. If he does that, we know what we need to do, don't we? Every time he tries to take a goal kick, just run in on him. Be all right.
Of course, yes, absolutely. That's how Jesus can get his first goal. Just probably knowing him, he'd still probably miss.
Don't be like that. You're forgetting one of the most iconic moments on this channel, aren't you?
I do know what you're on about, the Man United one. Yes, That was a good moment. That.
It was a very confident Gabriel Jesus running through against that Manchester United defence. Listen, when he gets an opportunity, we'll put it away. But he's just not, like you say, he's not getting the game time. That's what he needs. He needs a bit of game time to get himself ready. But trying to dislodge one of the most informed strikers in Europe at the moment, it's going to be very difficult for him.
I'm going to ignore that. Despite what I said about Aaron Ramsdale making save after save, I actually do think, look, what I want from this team tomorrow is a no drama, easy win. That's all I want, really. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have to deal with watching Ebbsfleet tomorrow. So that's going to be stress and heartbreak and terribleness as it is. So the last thing I want is for Arsenal to drop points. So I just want an easy win for Arsenal. Southampton, with all due respect to them, have not been the best of teams in the Premier League. And we're at home. So I just want a simple win, no shenanigans. And I'm going to go 5-0. 5-0 Arsenal.
Okay.
My grapefruits are out this week. I'm going 5-0.
Goodness me, he's gone big, everybody. He's gone big. Now, here's the thing, boys and girls. 3 points clean sheet, no red cards, no injuries. And look, I think that's all that anybody wants. AFC always is saying that I think it was a really bad move, Ramsdale going to Southampton. What Ramsdale wanted was to get some game time, and he's getting it over there in Southampton. I wish him nothing but the best, but tomorrow he can have the clanger of all clangers. And do I go higher or do I go lower?
higher than 5
What do you think? Do you want to go higher or lower? Yes, you get impressions on the channel as well, everybody. Yes, that was Bruce Forsyth, everyone. Yeah, just so you know. The fact I got
You
it.
do well.
So much better than last week. Lower. Emerson says lower. Shall we go with 4-0? Emerson, you happy with 4? Higher than the 4, we say no. Brucey bonus.
KFC says Brucey bonus. Absolutely, it's an OSW reference as well. Really.
We have. It's kind of gone off the rails a bit, hasn't it? But yeah, no. Emerson says no. No 4-0 or yes 4-0. What do we think? Anyway,
I've locked in my prediction. Actually, maybe I'll go for 5-1 and Ramsdale does a Paul Robinson or Tim Howard and scores from the.
No. Oh dear. What I will say is I will hope that 5-0. Okay. I hope he gets a decent reception tomorrow afternoon, and then he goes and does what he's done so well, particularly against Southampton. Wasn't it against Southampton where was it 18 seconds or something?
That's why the move was made for him. He was a special agent for them. 18 seconds gives the ball away to who I can't remember who scored that goal. It was ages ago. It wasn't Theo Walcott. He scored the second. But yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was a good time. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. A game that I think we really need to get 3 points out of, and to go into the international break and try and refresh a little bit. And looking pretty good in the Premier League table. Right, let's sort of whiz through a couple of other points.
Yeah.
Posh, you might have mentioned Thomas Partey potentially talking about getting a new contract. What are your thoughts? Do you think he should sign a new one, or do you think, or would you just leave it a little while? What do you think?
I don't think he should sign a long-term contract. I think a short-term contract, like a 1-year extension, might be the best. Because look, I still think, we do need an upgrade on him. Of course, I said he's not getting any younger, and he's I think we do need an upgrade on him at some point. But I think it's more likely we get rid of Jorginho next year rather than Partey, and it's always important to have options. So I think Partey will probably stay for 1 more year, potentially. But I think he'll be a substitute. He'll be a rotation player next season if we sign a midfielder. That is.
Okay.
But at the moment, I'm not against it because he's doing very well for us at the moment, and long may it continue. But I don't. With his age, I don't see him as a long-term option. I don't.
No, he's not a long-term option, but he's never showed any sort of signs of ever wanting to leave the club. And he's fair play to him. He's got himself fit and ready to play again after a long layoff, hasn't he? Okay, let's get through the next sort of point of call, if you like. One thing that we sort of skipped upon on the PSG game was a cameo performance from Mikel Moreno. New signing from Sociedad. Posh, what did you think of him on his debut? And are you a bit worried the fact he's been called up for Spain?
So I thought he did okay in his debut. I did not expect him to come back so soon to the squad. I thought it was a couple of months he was out for. But it's good to see him back. He looked very good. I don't think he'll start tomorrow, to answer AFC Always' question there. He'll probably come off the bench. And for him being called up for Spain, if Luis de la Fuente had, aka the Adam Pearce lookalike, had any sense, he probably would only include Marino to make up the numbers in his squad. But
Right.
Marino, from what I saw in the Euros, Marino wasn't a regular starter for Spain anyway. There was occasions where he
Right.
came off the bench, and of course he scored the goal against Germany. That was from off the bench. So I think he will either come off the bench in one of the games, and in the second game he might start and then come off. That's what I think. So I think they'll, they've got to manage him quite well for Spain.
Yeah.
They've got to monitor his fitness. Jorginho contract ends in June next year. They'll look for a replacement with Marino. He had a solid debut. I agree.
I
I can't see Jorginho extending his contract, and I think he's about 1 year older than Partey. I think he'll be a bit. I don't see him extending.
What I see out of him is potentially ending up in the coaching staff, is what I think. But we'll see how that goes. Right, speeding along a little bit. Worth mentioning Calafiori's goal at the Etihad has been nominated as one of the goal of the month contenders. What did you make of it? I don't think we really spoke about that Calafiori goal because you weren't available on the broadcast.
I was available on the broadcast against Man City.
Oh, no, you're right.
And you made a run in. And we both said that it was a lovely goal. And I definitely think it should be a goal of the month contender. Outside the box, from a left back, it came from out of nowhere like an RKO, and it was a great goal, and goal of the month, absolutely, it's definitely a contender. AFC always says Jorginho has the acceleration of a fully loaded tractor. I always said with Jorginho, whenever he plays well, I said what he lacks in pace, he makes up for in vision.
Vision and a good brain. Definitely.
Yeah. Hope Trossard gets a new contract too. Currently 2026. Trossard's a very good player, and I do hope he stays for a long while because, as I said, big game player, and very good attacker. And people, I think a lot of our fans have come round to him now, especially with not so much now, hopefully, but with Martinelli, who was out of form, people came round to Trossard, and he's very good. I love Trossard. He's fantastic.
Saying that about Martinelli, I thought it was his form actually has really improved over the last few games as well.
He needed that goal against Leicester. He
did. Yes,
and I was so pleased that he scored that, by the way, because I thought, okay, hopefully that's his confidence back and running now.
Yeah. Say what? Sorry, say that again.
He missed a chance against PSG where he hit it straight at the keeper. But I think if he hit it to a different direction, it would have gone in, and it would have been a lovely goal. But that's just me nitpicking.
You are nitpicking a little bit. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. If we're sort of speed running any other news that we've got, I will mention this very, very briefly. From the WSL, Frida Marnham has had a phenomenal start for the ladies' side, and she has been nominated for the Player of the Month. So if you go on the Arsenal.com or the app, you can see where to vote for her on that. But other than that, I don't think there's really anything else I need to talk about. Really, there's a couple of games, as well as obviously the Southampton game going on. There is a couple of games in the academy to look at. I'm sure Emerson will be all over them. I believe one of them might well be against Tottenham, if I'm not mistaken. If I can just hit that button there. Yes, the under 21s are playing Tottenham, and the under 18s are playing Birmingham City. So, yes, that is just about all we've got to say. AFC always says Luis Enrique wanted to have £500 million to spend at the Arsenal job, and we was told you won't be getting that. But Arteta spent £800 million. Make that make sense?
Well, Arteta beat Luis Enrique
He did. Yeah, good point.
this week. So in Arteta's defence, for once, I didn't know Luis Enrique did he apply for the Arsenal job? Was it when Emery was gone? I don't know. I can't.
I don't know about that.
It was ages ago. We are where we are now, and let's just move on from that, because I'm not going to talk about Emery today or anything else like that. No, I'm fine.
We'll leave that for your Twitter page at Posh Bertie, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Emerson says the under-19s had a good win against PSG under-19s. I believe it was 1-0 to the Arsenal. And BX is very optimistic in saying the upcoming matches in October, we can realistically go undefeated this month. Yes, we could. And why wouldn't we be confident in doing that? And then that'll come and bite me tomorrow and we get beat 1-0. No, we won't. No, we won't.
No. Ramsdale doing a Paul Robinson. And yeah. VX Gunner says Arteta has rebuilt us. Why are we still talking about other managers? Silverware,
exactly, BX.
Silverware.
How much silverware has Unai won? Yeah, exactly.
In his entire career, I can tell you.
No, for Aston Villa.
For Aston Villa. No,
yeah.
not yet, but he can. He can. But
so again, can Mikel.
5 years Arsenal and won one trophy. That's the thing, because he has built the team in his image. Arteta has built Arsenal in his image, and when he won the FA Cup in 2020, it was with players who are not. A vast majority of those players are not with the squad anymore. Arteta's built the team in his image and has won nothing since. That is the concern people have when it comes to Arteta. And who knows, maybe he might win something this season. And if he does, I will say well done.
But then if you want to talk about consistency throughout a league side, you look at the last couple of seasons, you even look at this season as well. You know, we had a really good points tally at the end of the last season. It's just Man City, fair play to them, or maybe not
domestic
so much.
Cups, though. The domestic cups as well, like the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, etc. He's not won those since we last won it in 2020. So, look, I hope we can win some silverware, because if we don't, as I said, then we're basically Pochettino's Tottenham.
I think that's extremely harsh. I think there's every chance that we could pick up a trophy this season, because I think we've started ever so well.
We need to. Yeah. We need to. We've got on a bit of a drought, bit of a trophy drought, so we need to end that. End the streak like the Undertaker.
Absolutely. Look, what trophy has Arteta won? Because the FA Cup was Emery's team. Well, he's won Community Shield, and he's won the US MLS All-Stars Skills Challenge, and he's won a couple of Emirates Cups. I know I'm just doing that for comedy effect, Posh. I'm doing that for comedy effect, all right? Look, I get your point, all right? But you know me, I'm ever so positive. I don't really have an awful lot bad to say about Mikel Arteta. If I do, and if there's anything I do really, really disagree with, you believe me, you'll know about it. But listen, everyone has different opinions. You know what? That's what makes this social media thing. It's what makes our channel quite fun, because I think everyone can have lots of opinions as long as people are respectful. That's what it's all about, right? The time is now. Yes, the time is up. The time is now. Let's pick up some trophies. Our time is now. That sounds mic drop. So look, I think probably that after nearly an hour on the stream, I think I need to sort of look at it getting out of here. It's been a very long week in the Meadows household. Posh has been a little bit poorly as well. So look, we are just about done for tonight. BX coming in, 90% of the fan base know what he's done and what he means to this club. Others will never be on board. Yeah, that's the thing. People were going to have opinions, and even people amongst our chat are going to have different opinions about what they think about Mikel Arteta and the Arsenal and what the vision is. Where we are at the moment and where we've been building up to where we are, may I be so bold as to say, look, perhaps we've started maybe above expectations in the season with the difficult fixtures we had. Arsenal have started extremely well in this season. Makes me very, very positive for when the trophies are getting given out at the end. That's what I'll say about that. AFC always does say, great show as always, and that is really appreciated. This has been our first live in a little bit of a while, guys. And if you've got this far watching us, two things I need you to do. That's hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Actually, there's three things. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss a video that we put up. YouTube news, because YouTube are changing their regulations on doing YouTube shorts. So what you might see out of us in the near future is us maybe producing more shorts. So there'll be extended shorts. Whereas right now the shorts are 60 seconds, they might extend to about 3 minutes. Did I say 3 minutes? That's your 3-minute warning. So that's something that we can definitely do maybe on a regular, I want to say almost daily basis, perhaps. If there's something to report, it will come out to you. We have the personnel to do that. So what I would say is let's keep an eye out on the social media channels for when we come back live. I don't think we'll be doing anything else live over the weekend. As much as I'd like to do the WSL game, I'm exhausted and I need to give myself a bit of a break. Right, so doing an hour tonight is probably taking everything that I've got left. I'm going to collapse in a minute. But yeah, we'll look at what we're going to do next week and we'll see what happens. BX is saying he's watching Joe Bellingham versus Leeds right now, seeing what he's about. Be an interesting watch. Anything you want to say before we go, Posh?
Well, you're probably wondering, look at this hoodie. Where have I got it from?
Oh, yeah.
Well, at the back of the hoodie is one Bukayo Saka. You get that from goalartso.com. The lovely Fran, of course. I hope she's doing well. I hope she can come back to this lovely platform one day.
We're in discussions.
I got this hoodie from her website, goalartso.com. I paid this for using my own money, unlike some other people. And yeah, it's doing great. Go and subscribe to Goalartso. She hopefully will come back at some point. And
we just need to negotiate the figures, Posh. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
It's just all about the big bucks. That's what it is. So look, do you want to do your socials before we go, mate?
Yes, absolutely. You can find me on X at Posh Bertie. My Instagram's at BertieOneless. I run Gooner Gathering's Instagram account, which is at Gooner Gathering. And of course, you can find me on this platform where we watch Arsenal, so you don't have to.
Thank you very much, Posh. It's been a pleasure as always, ladies and gentlemen. You can find me on X at Gooner Lee Meads. You can find everybody on the channel at Gooner Gathering. We shall love you and leave you right now. We will see you next week. And there's a comment just come in as we are about to go. Who was that, Posh?
Natalie saying goodbye to us.
Thank you very much. So look, lovely to see new names in the chat. We're out of here, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.